Kiano, welcome to tonight's Korero Live. Tonight's Korero is one that I think many of us really feel but don't say necessarily out loud. We're talking about growth in our profession, recognition for our mahi, and yes, pay progression. Especially at the moment, everything seems to be going up except our salaries. So, because while we are passionate about what we do, and it's also important that we understand our pathway forward and how we grow, how we get recognized, and how that actually translates into opportunities, leadership, and even better pay. To help guide us through this, I am very glad to be joined by Yuri, our National Registrar, who will walk us through what this looks like in real terms. Thank you so much for joining, Yuri.
Tēnā koutou katoa, Nika, and thank you for welcoming me. One of the most common things I hear as a registrar is that I want to grow, but I don't know where to start. And of course, there's a lot of uncertainties around that, and that's exactly why we're having this korero. Because the pathway is there, but sometimes it hasn't been clearly laid out. Tonight, we're going to connect the dots between the national registration and the conference graduation coming up very, very soon, and of course the pay progression. And and hopefully after this, you can see how all of them link together.
Well, I can't wait. This is stuff that I've sort of heard and sort of put a few together, but to hear it from yourself, the horse's mouth, it'll be great to hear your wisdom and experience to explain that for us. So thank you. Now, the first point you mentioned was that foundation, I guess, the national registration process. So from your perspective, Yuri, why is this such an important step for our members? Because it is time consuming. There is a bit of a fee. And it seems to come around very quickly each year. So why would you say it's important?
Well, yeah, you're totally right about that. It is. You've got to put into work to get the national registration, but registration is really about you recognition and credibility. So it acknowledges that you are practicing the APIED process. So it's the assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, and documentation of what we do, the therapeutic recreation. And what we've seen is that once members become registered, opportunities start to open up for them.
Yeah, I've seen that too, actually. People sort of shift from being seen as activity staff to actually being seen as professionals contributing to care outcomes, especially when you're able to show that practicing certificate, because that really helps us to align with other allied health professionals who also need to have that registration. Like we have registered nurses, registered physiotherapists, all these different registrations. So it makes sense that if we want our profession to be recognized as just as important and necessary for health and quality of life as these other professions, we want to be matching that registration process and have those certifications. And that shift alone, just having that, it can change how others engage with you.
Of course, yeah, I totally agree. And it's also a very good step on achieving, like what you said, it's a good step for us to be recognized for what we do. And of course, like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. With recognition, of course, it will come with more responsibility. With more trust and of course more opportunities for progression to other roles.
Yeah, definitely. And on that, I've actually seen, I sort of keep an eye out, I think we all do, on what jobs are going and where they're coming from. And there's several facilities and even whole organizations now that want only someone who's registered as their diversional therapist. So there is an increasing, not just for professionalism, but also just to have those job options. The recognition is the ball is rolling and organizations are saying, okay, no, we want registration and it's important. And yeah, you can sometimes, not that I know of anyone yet because everyone's very good at what they do, but maybe you don't pass registration because there's something to work on. So it helps having that national standard to make sure that there's a minimum met. And
Yes.
it's so good because we care about all of our clients. We care about our profession. And when we see at conference, the sea of registered professionals, we go, man, we know that you're doing a good job because you have that practicing certificate.
Yeah, that's so true. It's sort of like something for the employers to see that you're working within a certain standards.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much, you've summed it up very well.
Love it. Cool. Yeah, one of the most exciting parts of this journey is, drumroll, graduation at conference. Can you talk us a bit through that, Yuri?
Yes. Right. So graduation at the national conference, it's a huge milestone.
Mm.
I think I had mine when we had our conference in Auckland some time ago. And it's not just about receiving recognition. It's about being acknowledged by your peers in your profession and by the hard work that you also put to get that registration. And with Christchurch 2026 coming up, now
Yes.
is the time to start preparing for
Yes.
that upcoming graduation.
Yeah, I love it. And it gives some people something tangible to work toward, and just to say, you don't need to feel perfect to start. If you've been doing the mahi and you're reflecting and you're learning, you're already on the journey, and there's you get the experience, you get the qualification, and there is a minimal hour requirement to have that registration to achieve graduation. So we all get very excited about it because we know how much work and experience actually goes into being able to put on that cap and gown and have your moment of, I did it, I'm registered. And if you get a room full of diversional therapists, you better believe it's going to be one hell of a party. Those graduation nights are so much fun. You feel the love, you feel the excitement. Everyone's DTing each other, wanting to be supportive and celebrate the milestone. It's just so worthwhile. Well, let's talk about something a bit more practical, because it's all well and good to say, it's worth it, the work, recognition, but what about pay? There's been a recent circulation from the Society around recommended pay scales. Yuri, could you help unpack this for our members? Because as much as we want to focus on the passion, we do have to be practical as well. What's the pay situation? Yeah.
Right. So first, we have to be very clear. These are going to be recommended industry guidelines. They are not mandated or legislated, but they are important because they give us a benchmark. So it is a way to understand how pay can align with the qualification that we have, the registration, and the responsibility that we will have.
Yes. Yeah. So you've highlighted a few different stages. If we were to look at the pathway, so we have our non-qualified roles, right? So that's around $26.16 an hour up to the 29.85. That's sort of the standard level 1 to 4, isn't it?
Right.
And then level 1 to 3. And then our qualified practitioners are hitting around that $30.90 per hour. Very, very happily, there is a little bit of an expectation jump with that national registration in the APC of around $32 an hour, which is already a clear shift just for becoming registered, to identify that you're working to that national standard.
Absolutely. And some places as well, if you have a national registration with your APC, some might give like $32 per hour.
Brilliant. Yeah. And that's a huge jump, $2 more an hour absolutely adds up. And even more than that, it's just nice that step in our progression is recognized and acknowledged financially, because we know that by that point, when you've achieved registration, you absolutely deserve to have that recognized and remunerated. Could you build a little bit more on some of the leadership opportunities and where that might, how that might reflect with the pay scale, Yuri?
Right. With entry level of leadership, it's looking around $33.50 to $35. So it's a big. It's not. It's a jump. It's quite good. Mid-level leadership is around $35.50 to $40
per hour.
Then
Brilliant.
yeah,
That's
that's
significant.
expensive,
Yeah.
yeah. And then senior leadership, we're looking at $40.50 to $50 or more per hour. So
Wow.
there's definitely progression in our role.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but the key message here is that pay progression is linked to responsibility and scope of progression.
Mm,
So the more you get paid, of course, you have to expect that you're gonna have to do more. But
yes.
like if you like if we like what we do, it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Mm, mm. Yeah, so it is really, it's not just about asking for more. You also have to be willing to step into
That's
roles
right. Yes.
when you're leading teams. You have to have those skills to lead people, because the further up you go, the more people sort of look to you for guidance and direction. You got to be able to lead those teams and drive the programs, really start the pathway, manage. So you need those team leadership, management skills, and be able to influence outcomes.
That's right.
And so it's not just about, hey, I'm qualified, I'm good at what I do, I should get more money. As you say, great responsibility, great power. We have to be willing to actually match the pay we're asking for with our profession.
That's right.
We've seen some real stories in our community of people who have used registration as a stepping stone from even just like a title change from activities assistants to qualified practitioners to then registered professionals and into leadership roles.
Yes, and the common thread is this: they didn't wait. What they did is they took initiative. They took that first step. They invested in their development,
Good word.
and they put themselves forward. And as we said earlier, the pathway is there. You just have to step into it, and we're always here to help and guide you along the way.
Yeah, I love that choice of word as in investing. You're investing in yourself and in your future.
Yes,
Sacrifice now for reward later. And hearing that from you as the registrar, that the society is there to back you to do it, that is a huge encouragement. We're really wanting our members and our professionals to not just see the pathway, but be on the pathway, because it doesn't just support us as a profession, but it supports the overall outcome that we want for Kiwis and New Zealanders, which is just better quality of life and better health outcomes, better well-being.
of course.
Yeah, our people. We want it. We want them to be well and looked after. Now we've talked about the pay. But obviously, we don't get to make the decision about what our pay is. So why don't we talk a little bit about having those conversations with employers? Because, and I include myself, it's an awkward conversation to have. A lot of people maybe even haven't had a conversation like that before, and this is where a lot of people find they get stuck.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Sometimes it's quite hard to ask for more. But this is where positioning is important. When you put yourself out there and you clearly say that, hey, I'm qualified, I'm registered, or I have the capability to lead or contribute at this level, it's not just about asking for more pay. It becomes more. You're showing why you bring value, what value you bring to the table.
Yeah, I like that. And that's the shift from hoping to be recognized to actually presenting yourself as a professional who's already operating at that level. You're not saying, hey, pay me. In fact, there was a sentence someone used, I heard a couple months ago. They started this conversation with their employer and they put it to the employer to say, I want to explore what you think I'm worth. What am I worth to the company? Where is my value? Is there something I could be working on? I thought that's a really good way of putting it. You're not demanding, you're not even having to sort of say, I want more money, but have them reflect and go, actually, I think you are worth more. Or if there's something that they'd like to see you work on, then you get that feedback as well.
And
excuse me. Sorry, Yuri.
And I mean, like, and that's why, like, just adding on to what you said, that's why it's good to have your registration, your qualification to back
Mm,
you up. Um, Once you make those claims, once you ask them to look at you and what they think your value is, um, and that's why it's good to get your registration, so that
mm.
once that you're at that stage, you have something to back you up.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Not to sort of step backwards a bit, Yuri, but I think a lot of our members and our viewers would be curious to know about your journey because you're the registrar now, but
Mm.
obviously you started at level zero, like the rest of us. So how was your journey working through the society?
Right. So I finished my qualification from Cody Academy.
Mm.
Ooh, can't even remember. Some time ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And then I started working for St Andrew's Village. I worked there for 3 years.
great place, great facility.
It's very good facility to work at. And then as soon as I completed my 3,000 hours, I decided to register.
Mm.
Um, there wasn't any clear indication if I was getting any raise from it, if I
Mm.
was going to get any additional pay from it. But I took that first step. Um, I took that first leap and applied for my registration, completed all of the assessments, and then I got my registration. And then after I got my registration, that's where I felt that I have this responsibility now to show up and do the work
Mm.
and to show that I'm a registered DRT, so I should be able to. I should. What I'm trying to say is that it gave me more confidence to
Mm.
do my
Yeah,
work. And
yeah.
then, yeah, and then when the opportunity came up, I thought, okay, to become a sorry, when the opportunity came up to become a national registrar, um, I thought to myself, if I was inspired to do registration,
Mm.
um, I want to be able to help other people as well to do theirs and sort of be the gentle push for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a good place to be where you get to see how the profession unfolds, and
Mm.
you get to see other people's stories on how they what their reason why they want to register, and it's quite inspiring actually. So yeah,
That's
so just a
so
little bit of
cool.
story. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to have a little peek behind the curtain there.
yeah.
I think for some of our members who maybe are hesitant to go for registration, I know a couple of students I've been talking to. They're like, "Oh, I don't know, it seems a bit scary, and you have to have an interview." Could you share the perspective of the people that are doing the interviewing and how they view people that are wanting to make that step, just to sort of maybe connect those two lines a
Mm.
bit?
Right. So well, it is a bit it's a bit daunting. When if you think of it like if you think of it as at first, like, oh
Yes.
my god, I'm gonna be assessed virtually. It's like an
Mm.
interview for a job that
Yeah.
but it's like an interview for a job that you applied for. So you're applying to be a
Mm.
registered DRT. But what essentially we're gonna ask you is stuff that we think that you would know about already as a qualified
Mm.
DRT. So I think like there really shouldn't be. I mean, of course, the nurse is always going to be there. Even me doing the
Mm.
assessment, doing the interview, I get the nerves, but it's stuff that you already know that you're already doing. So the virtual assessment is just for us to assess that, that um, it's more like a confirmation that you've
Mm, mm,
done
mm,
the job. It's just that we want an explanation from it. But yeah, I mean, what I can say is that don't be scared of the
mm,
process. We're always going to be here to support. And if you in the virtual assessment, if like I'm just gonna say this now, like if you don't complete everything that we asked during the interview, we're not just gonna put you on the side. We're gonna help
mm,
you build towards that because we know that you have it.
mm.
Because
You're
you're
doing it, yeah,
qualified, yeah, and
yeah.
you've been doing the job for because we have minimum 3,000 hours of work,
Mm,
so we know that you can do it. So, sometimes the nerves just gets to us. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And if we were to sort of, what do they call it? Like a vocal clip. What is the outcome that you're wanting for people going through the application process?
um, what do you mean by outcome?
Like, I guess I'm trying to get a soundbite of, are you looking for any excuse to fail people and say, no, you don't meet the standard? Is it like an exclusive thing, or?
Absolutely not. So our goal is not to fail people.
Mm.
Sometimes I see myself as a recruiter.
Yeah.
But definitely our goal is not to fail people. Our goal is to support people get their registration. So that's always going to be our goal. We're not here to make your life hard. Because like I said earlier, we know that you've put in the work.
Yeah.
This is just another step for you to move on to grow in your profession. So don't be scared to ask questions. There's no stupid questions. Don't be scared to ask them. Just ask away, email us. So yeah.
Awesome. There, you heard it here first. If you're on the fence about, I don't know if I should do registration, don't be scared of the board. They are where everyone on the board is there to support you. That's why they do it. That's why we have our amazing registration team. Like people like Yuri, they're like, you can do it. We want to help you do it. We did it. You can do it too. Could you share a bit about your experience on your graduation nights? How did you feel? What was it like for you?
Oh, it was such a memorable experience. I remember being so excited about it. I think months before I was already planning what I'm gonna wear. I think back in the Auckland conference, the theme was colorful. So I was like, oh, what color am I gonna wear? I was trying to coordinate my outfit and everything. And then I was so excited about it because I knew I put in the work, and then I got my registration, and then I was just so excited to step on that stage and receive that recognition, and then move on further. And then I remember after the graduation, it was just partying. It was a lot of partying. Everyone was on the dance floor. It was dancing. So it was so fun, and I was I attended it with coworkers, with friends, with colleagues. So it was so fun to see them cheering for you and being proud with you as well. So it was such a magical moment.
That's awesome. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, you'd really do. They make you feel like a superstar for doing it. The board, everyone is just so supportive. And if you missed it, you do get to wear the cap and gown, which, well, for me, that was a big deal. I was like, well, I want the photo in the gown and the cap, and you get that, and in the colours. And Christchurch is a really cool place, so get it in, get those papers in now, get it ready. We want a nice big party for this year's conference and graduation.
That's right.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, I think we're probably ready to just summarize with some reflections on this korero. It's been so helpful hearing from the board how the process works and what we're aiming for. I think something that I've really taken away from this korero is start where you are, but don't stay there. We're happy with where we are. We got to start here. But if we stay, we stagnate. And we want to push forward personally, professionally, for our profession and for our tangata whenua, for Kiwis, for New Zealanders. And we have a very diverse country, and we're very lucky for that reason. And we want everyone to thrive in their health and well-being.
Yeah, it's very easy to stay where it's comfortable, but it's always good to push forward.
Yeah.
And just to sum up what we've talked about as well, registration is your foundation, but growth is your responsibility.
Ooh.
Advocacy is your voice.
Wow. That was great. That was great. That was like a Mufasa moment. Oh, awesome. Yeah, love it. Registration is the foundation. We've got to get that foundation there because that's what we build on. And then the growth can happen, the recognition. And we use our voice. That's our advocate. That's our advocacy. And we are very lucky to have a very dedicated society to fall back on as well. If we need a bit more support, as you've made very clear, Yuri, we're here to help, ask the questions, get the support. Awesome, Oe. Well, on that note, ngā mihi nui everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, whānau. As we look ahead for Otatahi Christchurch 2026, we hope to see many of you not just attending, but walking on that stage and being recognised. And I guarantee you will be even more excited than you are to see you doing it. Your mahi matters, your growth matters, and your value matters. Kia kaha, kia maia, kia mana wānui. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Everyone.
Thanks, Yuri. Bye.
Ka kite, bye-bye.